To this second session is Mr. Neongyang Teng Duang. Sorry for my poor pronunciation. Would you please understand my poor pronunciation? Would you come to the podium, please? Mr. Duang, he is Managing Director from Better Tanzania PLC. He is currently served as the Director for Better Tanzania PLC, overseeing overall company's business and technical operation that led the company being the most affordable and reliable with the largest network coverage here in. So I briefly introduce the speakers to this second session, and because of the time limitation, I would like to introduce His Excellency for his speech via remote. Each speaker, please keep in mind the presentation will be within 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you for your kind support. Your Excellency, Bilal, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for giving me the chance to be part of this amazing event. And I'm sharing my slides now. As we all know that Metaverse and the smart cities are very much related, and this topic is one of the most important topics in the recent time, and many researches and many studies and many use cases are being implemented around the world. Some cases are still in the proof of concept, and some cities already started their implementation for some of the smart city services. This is a quick overview about me, and the presenter already mentioned that in the presentation. So as an introduction, we need to think about the smart city as a virtual world, as a metaverse, as a virtual world that is working where users can interact with each other, and they are using digital content in a way that immersive or more interactive, more than traditional online experience. So now we are going into a new experience with the metaverse to go into a virtual world that will represent the actual world. The most important life of the residents, having better services, having better life, quality of life for the residents. So when we think about intersection between smart cities and metaverse, we need to think about many pillars or many sides. The first thing that we need to think about, which is urban planning. We will get the benefit from the metaverse to improve the urban planning. So we can create a new digital twin of the city, represent the city in a digital format, that we can have an actual city coupled with a twin city, digital twin city, that represents the real world actions, and we could simulate and test different urban planning scenarios using that model. This will help us to make better decisions about things, and also will give us an overview about the better optimization of transportation, infrastructure, and the land use. The second important usage for the metaverse in training. As all we know that we faced COVID-19 and lockdown, and many schools and universities were closed, and the country is suffering from poor infrastructure, had stopping for the education process in some schools and universities. And the countries with good infrastructure that they could utilize the online learning and online training and online follow-up with the students, it could help them to continue the education process. At the same time, we can think about metaverse as a platform that would help the students and the universities to have a new way of learning, a new way of engagement with the students, and it also could be used to train employees for new skills and the procedures and which will show them in a digital world how things are being done, how experiments can be done by using Metaverse. The third important part, which is public services. We could use Metaverse as a platform to provide services to public while they are sitting at their homes. So many of the services of the public could be done remotely. However, the Metaverse will give us a new way of looking to the service. For example, citizens could use Metaverse to file a complaint with the city government and pay taxes or apply for a permit or do any other function that is related to government. It can simulate the government offices, and instead of being there in person, you can do it while you are at home. And one more important thing, which is tourism and the relation to the economic development. We can think about Metaverse that as an important riser for the tourism in each country. We could use Metaverse to promote tourism and perform economic development, and it could use Metaverse to create a virtual showrooms for events and could be accessed remotely from people all over the world. And also we could use it to make a virtual city for the tourist places in Jordan or in other country. For the people that didn't have the time or the money to travel to those countries, they can use Metaverse to have a virtual tour. The same as any new technology, there are many challenges and there are many opportunities. We could highlight challenges in 4 groups. The first group, which is cost. The cost of implementing and maintaining the Metaverse infrastructure is huge, and we need to optimize the cost and to do it in the better way. So this is one important challenge for the Metaverse. The second important challenge is the internet, the connectivity. Do we have available connectivity to every place, to every location, and is the internet accessible by every person? We have both challenges. People need to access the Metaverse, and the countries they are thinking to utilize the Metaverse. So in the case of countries, they should have infrastructure. The 5G, for example, is a good enabler for the high speed, low latency internet connection. In Jordan, we already have 5G started and launched, and it's a good infrastructure to build a Metaverse infrastructure. So we need high-speed internet access, and at the same time, the other side, the users who are using the Metaverse, they need to have good connection to interact properly with the Metaverse, not to suffer from high latency or low speed. The third important part, which is protection. We need to protect user privacy, security. We need to take care about the privacy of countries, about privacy of organizations, utilities, or related people who will be there in the Metaverse. So protection, privacy, security is very important to be highlighted, and it's one big challenge. And the fourth important challenge, which is the social, the potential for social isolation and addiction. So we don't need to use Metaverse as a new place to survive in a virtual world and leave the actual world. So if you believe that you need to use Metaverse all the time, you will be isolated from the people and you couldn't to travel in person to many countries. However, if you need to visit many places, you could use Metaverse to help you in that manner if you don't have enough budget. However, the personal experience is still important and couldn't be ignored. And the opportunities that will be offered with the Metaverse are huge. And we could highlight maybe 3 of them as a mini groups. And the rest is coming, it will be clarified with the coming within the coming period and years in each country. So the first important part or opportunity that we need to highlight, which is sustainability. Now, we will use Metaverse to make more sustainable cities, resilient cities, using better utilization of resources, using green infrastructure, utilize the sun power, utilize minimize the usage of the fuel, enhance the transportation, reduce the traveling time, fuel consumption, and the CO2 emissions will be reduced. The second important part, which is the quality of life, using metaverse and smart cities will have the ability to improve the quality of life for residents, having better, less pollution in the cities, greenhouses, more interaction with the sun, and having less utilization for the artificial things, trying to use metaverse to simulate whatever you want in the city instead having the use cases being approved by the metaverse before implementing that in the life. All the options are available to enhance the quality of life by using the metaverse. And the third important opportunity, which is the business. By having metaverse, we will be able to attract more business and investment in those countries who are adopting this technology. It is like consequence benefits for the business. It will start from the infrastructure, then it will be followed by the application, and it will be followed by the lessons learned from that country. You can share knowledge. You can have your country as a platform for doing some businesses, and you could be a leader in this business. You could transfer your experience to other countries. So this, as we discussed, the subject is still new and need to be mature day by day, and within the time it will be, the concept will be proven and the implementation will be huge. And the quote of today, before I close in with the session or the presentation, that metaverse is a word in future technology that we will enter later. So it's an upcoming word, the future technology that we will enter, and we don't need to be hesitant in moving toward the metaverse. However, we need to be prepared. We need to have the preparation from the infrastructure, from the investment, from the business, from the rules and regulations, and from the technology enablement that it will support the metaverse. And that's all from my side. And this is my conclusions about the metaverse. Metaverse has the potential to be a powerful tool for smart cities, and we need to take care about that opportunity and to use that potential in the highest efficiency way. It is important to carefully consider the challenges and opportunities. As we mentioned, there are many challenges and many opportunities. We need to highlight on opportunities to increase them, and we need to focus on challenges to solve them and overcome them. And in order to be fully integrated into the city infrastructure and to have the smart city implemented in a good way using all technologies. Thank you again, and it was my pleasure to participate in this event.
Okay, Your Excellency, Mr. Bellal, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your insight with all of us. So after all the presentation, we'll have the Q&A. So now I would like to directly introduce the second speaker, Mr. Peter Ulanga. So would you make a presentation within the limited time? Thank you so much. Good morning.
It's actually a pleasure to stand before here today to speak about the topic of today, which is shaping inclusive cities of tomorrow. And I'll try to just give 2 minutes or 3 minutes of TTCL views and the readiness for preparing the country towards metaverse, and also looking at the potential for unlocking collaboration within the metaverse. One of the most important things we have as TTCL is our responsibility to provide infrastructure for all the operators plus the government. Probably I should have my laptop if I can't. Yeah, sure. Sure. In the first part of my presentation, I just give you 1.5 minutes Tanzania, and most importantly, by being a leading world-class communication solutions provider for everyone in the country. So this one provides for very close collaboration between TTCL and all other operators within Tanzania and beyond the borders where we actually serve, providing connectivities around. We also provide ourselves as providers for other services in terms of infrastructure and services, from provisioning of the national ICT backbone, IPS, fiber to home, and other types of services, mobile coverage, etc. At the same time, at the level of mobile application services and fixed application services, we want to be enablers for high-speed broadband access. We also have a responsibility as a corporation to provide e-government services, the infrastructure for e-government services, e-education, e-health, and e-commerce. And this is where we also have a lot of collaborators where we're working with. Specifically, I would like actually to just give a view on the national ICT backbone, which covers the whole country. And currently, it's being under massive upgrade. Next slide, please. We are now upgrading it. It was clocking at below 1 terabit, but we are upgrading it to around 25 terabit before the end of next year, but the target is to actually get it to about 100 terabits. This will make it ready for all the applications of Metaverse. In my next slide, I would like to just share a bit about our readiness in having our capital city, Dodoma, Metaverse ready, and being one of the model smart cities in the country. We have a core infrastructure which is under upgrade, where we want to push it to around 25 gigabit per second, but the target is to have it to around 1 terabit by end of next year. High availability configuration with the network monitoring of 24 hours every day of the week. The physical layout of our government city is shown on the next slide. This is a physical layout. It's in the capital city of Dodoma, where we have all the government buildings situated there. It's built with the thinking of having a smart city. We have built infrastructure there which provides all the levels of communication already built in within the structure of the government. And we are already in the conversation with ITU to actually model it as one of the sample cities for Metaverse and smart cities. In the next slide, we show the configuration of a very highly resilient government infrastructure network with a dedicated layers of connectivity, which is supposed to provide dedicated services, data connections, IP telephony, video conferencing, voice communication, etc. So as far as TTCL is concerned, we're well placed to unlock the potential of cities which should be ready for Metaverse, but we're also looking at other opportunities as a country. One area is to explore tourism Metaverse, which I'll show a quick demonstration later, medical tourism Metaverse, and we also are already looking at very close collaboration even beyond the borders of United Republic of Tanzania. I'd like to invite you first to what is physically possible. That is, within the city of Arusha is the midpoint between two cities of Cape Town and Cairo. So here you are in the middle part of Africa, so that you can visit physically. But within Tanzania, you also have the highest point anywhere in Africa, which is the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro, which we have put a live feed of video. My colleague can share that one. So I would like to invite, using the digital methods, to also visit the summit of Kilimanjaro. This will be made available by technology instead of you needing to walk all the way to the summit of the mountain. And if you are lucky, you'll see people summiting currently at the mountain. So this is the summit of Kilimanjaro. This is a live feed. This is how it is now. So I'd like to invite you to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your kind presentation, Mr. Peter Ulanga. Okay, so our next the speaker is Dr. Sharma. Come to the podium. Yes, please. Thank you. You have the floor.
Good morning, colleagues. It's a great honor to be here to share some information about the Metaverse and the CitiVerse in this forum. It's my first time to be here in Tanzania and Africa. It's thanks to the host about this whole forum and this meeting. I'm Chaoma from CAICT, China, and also the director of the Q3 ITUT's the Group 20. Today I'm going to share some information about exploring the CitiVerse. Next slide, please. Yes, you can see that the Metaverse is a collective virtual shared space merging the physical and virtual reality. It combines the VR, AR, 3D version, and blockchain and so many advanced technologies. The key features of the Metaverse including the unified coding, ID system, social rules, value exchange. We can see the elements in the virtual world in the Metaverse can be found the elements in the real world. And we just combine these two worlds, use the technology to just reach the Metaverse. Next slide, please. Here we can see there's a lot of representative of the development in the Metaverse. We can know that, for example, the gaming Metaverse, a lot of the gaming companies are doing some sort of VR, AR games, and also in the Xbox, PS maybe. And also the industry Metaverse can help us to just, for example, do the manufacturing in a smart way. And the social Metaverse, like the example which is showed in the previous meeting that we can see the avatar in the virtual space that people use the Metaverse can just communicate, have meeting in the Metaverse. And the CitiVerse is lending the expansive of the Metaverse into the city and the community field. It's a typical representative of the development direction of the Metaverse from the reality to virtual. Next slide, please. Here's the key technology of the CitiVerse is based on the digital twin. We can see that other Metaverse developments use the XR for people to communicate or interact with each other, but the CitiVerse is digital twin's core of how they can interact with the city field at a large scale. Next slide, please. Here's the trend of the CitiVerse. You can see that according to the level and scope of combining the virtuality and the reality, it can be divided into the partial digital twin, regional digital twin, and the full range digital twin. In now stage, we can see that we are in the between of the partial digital twins and the regional digital twins. And the breakthrough of the point can be just happen in the regional to the full range digital twins. We can see that smart city can be reached in that way. Next slide, please. Here's some key features of the CitiVerse. The first is data-driven simulation. The CitiVerse integrates the real-world data to create virtual city models offering the insights into various urban dynamics and the policy texting. It allows the policymaker to simulate different policies and observe their potential impacts before some implementation. And also it can predict modeling. CitiVerse can just enables the forecasting of the future trends of the outcomes based on the modeling data. Next slide, please. Here's some example about the digital twin project in China actually. This is Puyang Bridge in Shanghai, a very big metropolitan city. You can see that this digital twin, this is a 1.0 version has been put into operation by the end of 2021. It's a very crowded bridge in the river that divided Shanghai into the west and east. The road management and the maintenance department use the new generation of the digital twin technology to empower the digital application of the facilities, ensure the safer operation of the Puyang Bridge, and realize the three-dimensional integration and control. There's observation, management, and prevention. There are thousands of sensors in that bridge, and multiple cameras in that bridge can just make a 3D model and just observe this bridge in time, and can just prevent some, for example, some prohibit or some over-limit vehicles in that bridge. Next slide, please. Here's another example about the CitiVerse in some application that it's a Xinhua blockchain infrastructure facility. It's a national scale, the blockchain infrastructure independent identity system. This is a Baquan Gorge. It's a very famous valley actually in China. It's a 5A level since exporting in China. Uses the metaverse and powered by this infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure, Xinhua, to allow the visitor to make the lantern wishes. Traditional, it's a very traditional folk activity in China actually. It's a very light lantern, and there's a very light lighter in that lantern, and you can just write some best wishes in that lantern to just make it flowing in the air actually. Then compared to the traditional method, use the AR technology that this can be in the virtual world. And the people can also see, use the cell phone's camera, that the virtual lantern just flowing in the air in the real environment. For example, in that valley, it's now fair forbidden. So this is a very it's very friendly, environmentally friendly for this new age to just let this traditional way to just make best wishes. Next slide, please. This is another large scale about the digital twin system in the city level. It's a panoramic Fuyang. It's a district in Hangzhou province. And in order to solve the problem of the difficult monitoring management of 3,585 old houses in that district, this project, including the building house risk assessment, internal flooding situation monitoring, intelligent dispatch emergency resources, it's a district, maybe a regional scale about how there are so many sensors and cameras and other autonomic some system in that district to monitor these old houses and to just manage this area for some safety reasons or some other resources dispatch some system to just make the district more just help. I think this is the last slide. Okay, thank you very much. This is an example of about some CitiVerse in China. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shaoma. So now is Ms. No, sorry. The next. So would you come to the? So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kim, for a great introduction. And thank you. Good morning, good afternoon. Probably it's already past 12. So good afternoon, everyone, for this interesting forum. And today, my topic about this presentation is the accessible and inclusive CitiVerse. It's not my first time to speak as a speaker in the ITUT forum. I've been speaking as an accessibility expert for several times already, but still I have a lot to say about accessibility issues in ICT, Metaverse, and IoT and everything. So please bear with me if you heard about this before, but we also have some interesting use cases for the CitiVerse as well. So smart city services enabling many things for the persons with disabilities and persons with specific needs and elderly with age-related disabilities, and that previously seemed impossible through the technology. But still, the physical accessibility features, facilities that help persons with disabilities living in the city is still a very important means for for living in the urban life. But the deployment and operating and maintenance of these facilities requires a lot of effort, a lot of cost to maintain the service, and sometimes it doesn't work very well. So smart services are good tools to supplement these physical accessibility facilities, but adapting to a new technology sometimes is very difficult for someone, especially for persons with disabilities and elderly with age-related disabilities. Even if the service is easy and tend to be easier than the legacy system, still, because it's new, some of the persons with disabilities may feel very difficult to adopt a new technology simply because it's a new one. So, however, emerging technologies such as Internet of Things or digital twin and Metaverse as their interface could help systematically distribute and manage physical facilities, making smart services easier and more intuitive to use. However, to this end, appropriate accessibility should be secured for persons with disabilities when introducing smart city technology and Metaverse to utilize it, and the service can actually help persons with disabilities should be developed. So I will go through some of the potential use cases of CitiVerse that will help urban life of the persons with disabilities. Well, actually, mobility and transportation services is one of the big issues for persons with disabilities traveling around the city for living an everyday life in the city. And the community care is one of the other issues related to the elderly persons and also the persons with disabilities. So I'll address these two in detail. And also there are many other potential use cases. Due to the lack of time, I can't really go address all these potential use cases, but I can spend like whole day addressing how these use cases can be beneficial to the persons with disabilities. Well, actually, mobility and transportation, again, is very important for persons with disabilities to live in the urban life. Persons with disabilities and also those with specific needs require several urban facilities, accessibility facilities to secure mobility. For example, like braille tiles for the pedestrian pathways, or the audio signaling for the crossroad signals, something like that. And those are all need to be deployed physically throughout the city. And the problem with that is it's costly to develop or deploy all these features throughout the city entirely. And it's really, really, really difficult to maintain the quality of these accessibility features for persons with disabilities to use. The problem is, if one of these accessibility features are not working, then the entire route for the persons with disabilities, even with the physical disabilities, like using the wheelchair, they cannot move because of just a small fraction of accessible features that's not working. So perhaps digital twins technology and use of digital twin technology and the use of metaverse services can help to maintain how these are working, these accessibility features are working, and where to develop more for improve the mobility of persons with disabilities. So that's one of the use cases potentially to benefit persons with disabilities to enjoy more better mobility in this city. Another thing is the smart technology, which integrates the GPS and the AR, augmented reality, and the virtual reality technology. The problem with the smart technologies, well, maybe with the mobile applications that will aid persons with disabilities to move around, even if the physical accessibility features are not working, that's fantastic. That's very, really brilliant idea, and that's less costly. But the problem is, the persons with disabilities often, as I said earlier, often feel that it's very difficult to adopt a new technology. So here, that's where I am working on the standards. Probably standards cannot just simply eliminate all the difficulties of adopting new technology, but it can mitigate or reduce the learning curve to use these emerging technologies, including metaverse or digital twins or the IoT or something like that. It's not working. It's gone. The power is off. Okay. Looks like this mic is. Okay. So, for example, we developed the ITUT recommendation Y.4211 concerning the accessibility requirements for smart public transportation services. If everybody follows the standards, then the persons with disabilities only need to learn once to enjoy all the other related services that follows the standards. So standard is very important for persons with disabilities adopting new technologies. That's one of the key points for today's presentation. Next page, please. And another use cases I would like to address is the community care and the CitiVerse. Providing services to care for the elderly with age-related disabilities and those with mental and developmental disabilities through their homes or communities and not welfare facilities are called community care services. The problem with the community care services is that it's better in terms of promoting for persons with disabilities and those with the elderly with age-related disabilities to live independently or not isolated from the society and help to reduce the mental and stability of the persons with disabilities. The problem is the community care services is not easy to develop or deploy because the city is a very crowded place and there are many difficult disruptions that can cause those people with disabilities and those with the specific needs enjoy the enough care services or enough care medical assistance. So, but with the digital twins and the use of metaverse can implement virtual community care services. That's one of the potential use cases for the CitiVerse services probably. That can provide the living information or care services, healthcare information or healthcare services or emergency call services virtually so that they feel safer and they feel assisted while they're living the real city life, not in the welfare facilities or isolated facilities. So that could be one of the potential use cases for the CitiVerse services or using the emerging technology. So, and there are many more about this, but due to the lack of time, I'll stop here for just introducing just two unique, interesting use cases. But emerging technologies, such as metaverse services, can improve the quality of life of persons with disabilities with the aid of these virtual environments that they never really had before. So that's one of the key points that I would like to address. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for your kind presentation. So next is Ms. Zhang from remote. So Christina, now you have the floor. Christina Yang. Yeah, okay. Christina, yes, please go ahead. We cannot hear your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, perfect. Please
Hello?
go ahead.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Christina Yan Zhang, CEO of Metaverse Institute. It's an honor to speak to you today. Sorry I can't join you in person. But my connection with Tanzania actually dated back to 2014, when I interviewed the then Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Lazaro Nulando, who was in London speaking at a conference to eradicate illegal wildlife trade. We discussed Tanzania's achievement of high-quality human development for citizens and become known as the Geneva of Africa, as mentioned by our minister today. I have seen, cherished an African dream. One of my favorite movies is Black Panther, which depicts Wakanda in Africa as the world's most innovative and advanced economy. The UN projected that by 2050, Africa's population will reach 2.5 billion, meaning 1/4 of the global population will be African. The rise of global middle class in Africa will be the main engine to power the world economic growth. So how would the metaverse help to unleash the enormous potential of Africa and other parts of the world for positive impact? Next slide, please. Can we have the next slide, please?
Okay.
The key is digital connectivity, which you can see out of 7 different layers. It is at the very center to ensure metaverse is for all. Next slide. However, according to World Bank, 1.2 billion population in the world still have little or no access to electricity, and about 600 million is in Africa. Next slide. What shall we do? We need effective international collaboration between public and private sector to attract more investment to expand electrification, both grid and off-grid, to support major initiatives such as the African Single Electricity Market of the African Union's Agenda 2063. And another issue is the digital divide. As you can see, 3 billion of the global population does not have access to the internet. And this is not only the case in developing countries, but also developed countries. 91% of economic vulnerable communities in developed countries cannot afford food and shelter, and this population also suffer a lot from the digital divide. Next slide. Elon Musk has been using Starlink low Earth orbit satellites to connect remote parts in the world. Next slide. Next slide as well. Since 2019, he has put 2,000 satellites to connect 40 countries, including Nigeria, Rwanda, Mauritius, and Mozambique, with 1.5 million population connected. Maybe we can have more providers to join the competition to get the cost down a little bit more to benefit even more population in Africa, Asia, and other parts of the world. Next slide. Another issue, as many of you have already touched, is digital literacy, skills, and readiness. Many UN agencies, governments, and private sector have been doing a wonderful work in this area. For example, ITU has a manual for measuring IT success and use by household and individual. The question is then, how can we get all the many different organizations coming together to help more people to benefit from better digital literacy? Next slide. The third issue is our aging society. According to the UN, in 2017, we had 1 billion population aged above 60. And by 2050, we will double that to 2 billion and triple that by 2100. My parents are both at their 60s, and they are struggling to use even mobile phone for online banking. So how can we ensure our beloved parents, grandparents can also benefit from the metaverse? I think that's a very important question because no one should be left behind. Next one. We recently launched a report with the Tampere city government of Finland to develop the world's first people-centered metaverse strategy, Tampere Metaverse Vision 2040, looking at how AI, digital twin, metaverse-related technology can prioritize the well-being and happiness of our people by 2040. But you know, Finland is a developed country, being ranked as #1 in the world for happiness. So how can we use Metaverse to support countries and cities at different stages of their Metaverse or CitiVerse journey? Next slide. As a co-chairman of the ITU task group on CitiVerse, I want to invite all of you to join us to develop the first UN definition of CitiVerse and set up pre-standardization roadmap for governments worldwide to use Metaverse to accelerate their pathway to achieve the UN SDGs in cities and make our people happy. Next slide. I want to conclude my speech by quoting an African proverb. If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Life is short, and we need to make an impact. Let's do it now together. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christina, for your kind presentation. Okay, so the last speaker is Mr. Dung, the Managing Director of BTEL, the Tanzania PLC. So would you come? Okay, he is the last speaker, so he will make a good presentation within the limited time. Thank you. The floor is now yours.
Hello? It's okay. Habari za mchana. Yes. Dear Mr. Shiozo Ono, Director ITU. Dear Mr. Bakiri, Director of TCI. Dear distinguished guests, thank you for the kind introduction. I'm very happy today. I'm very excited to share view from the perspective in the investor with the Metaverse City. As you know, I'm Nguyễn Tiến Dũng, CEO of Halotel, one of the mobile telecom operator in Tanzania of Viettel Group in Vietnam. We also investigate on Metaverse, the advance of it, and how to implement Metaverse in a city, country, over the world. Metaverse is a new technology trend and revolutionary, the next step in the development of the mobile internet, and as platform for people work, play, and beyond exist. Metaverse is a seamless currency between physical life and digital life, creating an unified virtual community where participants can work, play, communicate, translation, and exchange. As we know, the most famous case study is Metaverse of Facebook, Epic Game, Unity. Be a part of Metaverse, operator must be the key factor to build infrastructure of connection between citizens within a city, country, and over the world. Metaverse requires a stable connect with low latency, high speed, and stable. To implement a Metaverse over city, the bandwidth for 4K character recommended standard is over 50 megabit per second, with latency under 10 milliseconds, and the connection from user to network should be 1 gigabyte per second, which support view content on Metaverse and interactive on Metaverse environment. The product of Viettel Tanzania, digital transform solutions, digital service cloud solutions, cyber security solutions, optical cable, 4G and 5G BTS sites. To achieve our object, we would want to seek possibilities to collaborate with the business through the following forms of collaboration. Invest digital infrastructure at the foundation for growing digital service. Provide solution and digital material so that we can sell the item to own current clients, including government and customer who use telecommunication service. Viettel may also be willing to provide shared infrastructure for firms to conduct business on, or Viettel can also connect business that want to invite and do business in the market in which we invest. I hope to present a perspective and approach for collectively constructing the CitiVerse using the information provided above. We have prepared a video about building a smart city. Please watch.
The development of sustainable and smart cities is the objective of many nations all over the world, including Vietnam. In Vietnam, there are now around 30 provinces and cities which have implemented smart city projects. Meanwhile, the cities are facing many challenges. Inadequate urban infrastructure, failing to satisfy development needs, and the rapidly increasing number of vehicles. Within the city, roads are overloaded, while the public transport system is inefficient. There is also a shortage of resources for infrastructure, socio-economic and high-tech development. To address the above-mentioned problems, Viettel has proposed the establishment of an Intelligent Operations Center, which plays a crucial role in synthesizing, leading, and operating all the urban activities through data collection and standardization. Simultaneously, the center analyzes and handles data, providing in-depth reports, as well as determining and directing the urban activities to provide local authorities and agencies with tremendous support. The Intelligent Operations Center includes the following functional sub-centers: Traffic Monitoring and Control Center, Public Safety Monitoring and Control Center, Emergency Operations Center, Information Security Monitoring Center, Data Integration and Analytics Center, Citizen Support Call Center, Media and Press Monitoring Center, Public Service Monitoring Center. To satisfy the above-mentioned functional requirements, the Intelligent Operations Center needs to operate on a strong, united software basis for monitoring and control, called Intelligent Operations Center Platform. The platform was built on many 4.0 technologies, like IoT for connecting countless sensors and surveillance cameras, AI for intelligent video analytics, and Autobots that can perform auto-response to the majority of citizen questions. Finally, data analytics to create in-depth reports and forecasts that can help each system to make their decision accordingly. These images indicate that the application of smart technologies in the operations center with modern, high-tech integrated equipment is a potential core solution to support city leaders in monitoring, directing, and controlling urban activities, promoting economic growth, and improving citizens' living and working environments towards a sustainable and smart city.
Asante Sana, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dung, for your kind presentation. Well, we are really running out of time, and I have received a signal from the organizer. So without further Q&A, I would like to adjourn the second session. Beforehand, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the speakers for your insights and valuable information. So with that, I would like to adjourn the second session. So Mangi, back to you to continue, please.
Those are not enough round of applause. Please, let's. This was an interesting session, and I'm sure no one went to sleep. Thank you to all our speakers for sharing your invaluable expertise on the role of international standard in shaping a CitiVerse for all. Thank you very much, Dr. Kim, for moderating this insightful session. Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude today's event this afternoon, please join me in welcoming Dr. Emmanuel Manasseh, Vice Chair, ITUT Study Group 20, to share his closing remarks. Dr. Emmanuel Manasseh is a lecturer at Nelson Mandela African Institute of Science and Technology in Arusha. Prior to his current position, he was a director, Industry Affairs at Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authority, and Dr. Manasseh held different leadership roles, including chairman of the Board of Trustees, Tanzania Education and Research Network. He's also a board member of Maendeleo Bank PLC and vice chair of ITUT Study Group 20, Internet of Things and Smart Sustainable Cities. Dr. Manasseh, the floor is yours, please.
Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, and dear delegates. After many insightful and informative discussion, it is now time to bring this event to a close. I want to thank the International Telecommunication Union for co-organizing today's forum with the administration of United Republic of Tanzania and putting together such a rich and innovative program. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard today that Metaverse offers tremendous opportunities, particularly for cities. The promise of the CitiVerse is to make our cities and communities more efficient, open, and beneficial for all inhabitants. The CitiVerse also holds great promise in accelerating digital transformation and achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. While the African region has a lot to offer in terms of our unique digital solutions, we also can learn from best practice examples as such from the city of Seoul. We also need to be part of the global discussion taking place right now at the shape of the metaverse and smart cities. I'm grateful to ITU for continuing to provide an open global platform where all stakeholders can come together. By making our voices heard, we can ensure that standards developed by the ITU can benefit from our unique experience and reflect our priorities. Therefore, before we conclude this forum, I would like to read the Arusha Call to Action, which has been developed trying to capture the key message and views shared during today's forum discussion. Call to Arusha, call to action, cities and metaverse, shaping cities for all, September 13th, 2023, Arusha, Tanzania. We, the participants of the third ITU Forum on Cities and Metaverse, Shaping CitiVerse for All, have acknowledged that cities act as engines of local, national, international, socioeconomic development. Strong urban economies are essential for poverty reduction and provision of adequate housing, infrastructure, education, health, safety, and basic services. Cities worldwide are facing increasing challenge brought by the indiscrimination, urbanization, and climate change. Solving these challenges require new models of inhabitant engagement, new ways of cooperation between various institutions and stakeholders, supported by novel ways of decision-making. Smart, sustainable cities can harness the full potential of information and communication technologies and frontier technologies such as Metaverse to address the urban challenges, offering the transparent and viable pathway for the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 9 and SDG 11. International standards are instrumental in disseminating the best practice, guidelines, framework, and generating key consensus that will address these urban challenges and build a more sustainable future for all. Recognizing the work carried out by the United for Smart Sustainable Cities initiatives, focus group on Metaverse, ITUT Study Group 20, and in particular, the Study Group 20 that is dealing with Internet of Things and Smart Sustainable Cities. And recalling the ITUT Resolution 98 on enhancing the standardization of Internet of Things and Smart Sustainable Cities and Community for Global Development, ITU Resolution 200 on a Connect 2030 agenda and the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals, emphasizing the digital transformation opportunities presented by the metaverse to connect the unconnected and achieve the Sustainable Development Goal. We, the participants of the third ITU Forum on Cities and Metaverse, Shaping CitiVerse for All, declare and all stakeholders call for action in African region to join us in development and standardization of an open, secure metaverse for the benefits of all, including the key action points. Number one, energy poverty. Call for international collaboration between public and private sectors to attract more investments to expand electrification, both grid and off-grid, to ensure 620 million Africans who are suffering from no or little access to electricity will achieve universal access, and that this development should be supported by appropriate policies, regulation, and incentives. Second, connectivity. Accelerate the development of digital public infrastructure to enable the metaverse, which allows for the combining of the physical and virtual world, ensuring reliable and affordable connectivity for all. Third, diversity and inclusivity. Ensure the metaverse reflects and supports the diverse needs of our aspirations by promoting and facilitating participation of all stakeholders, including government, industry, academia, and civil society. Number four, open, interoperable, and transparent standards. Working together with standards developing organizations such as ITU, industry forums, and other key stakeholders to develop metaverse standards that are open, safe, secure, and inclusive. Number five, socioeconomic opportunities. Create new socioeconomic opportunities to improve the quality of life of all by maximizing opportunities of the metaverse to drive sustainable digital transformation. The last one is people-centered cities and the CitiVerse. Enable smart, sustainable, and resilient cities and communities by creating innovative metaverse applications in urban planning, transportation, health, and public services to accelerate digital transformation in cities and community for the benefits of all inhabitants, with a special focus on biodiversity. We urge all stakeholders to join us as we continue our metaverse journey. Together, we can harness the power of metaverse to accelerate innovation, connectivity, prosperity, realizing the promise of the Sustainable Development Goals and building a better future for all to ensure that no one is left behind. I would like to seek your views and approval with applause. Before I close this forum, I would like to thank the amazing TSB team that have worked hard and hand in hand with the host country to make this forum possible. Thank you all for your attention, and I look forward to meeting you at the ITUT Study Group 20 meeting, which will start today in 14 hours. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Dr. Manasseh, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Manasseh, for your insightful closing remarks that have captured the essence of our shared mission to create a CitiVerse for all through international standards. On behalf of the organizing committee, we extend our sincere appreciation to all the speakers, moderators, and participants for your invaluable contribution to the third ITU Forum. Let's clap our hands for each one of us. Through today's exchange of ideas, best practices, and the innovative approaches, we have taken a significant stride towards the exploration of the cities and the metaverse, shaping a CitiVerse for all. We encourage everyone to maintain momentum in building a CitiVerse for all by joining the focus group on metaverse and contributing your expertise. Just a reminder, as Dr. Manasseh said, the ITU Study Group 20 meeting on IoT and smart cities and communities will take place at the same venue from this afternoon to the 22nd September 2023. Please also note that there will be a dinner tonight hosted by Tanzania through TCRI at Mount Meru Hotel immediately after the afternoon session. Cars will be available from Grand Melia Hotel to the dinner venue, so please make sure you catch one of the buses that will take you to the dinner venue. As we conclude, we wish you all a pleasant rest of the day. Don't forget, for those who are staying beyond today, Arusha is very close, as we have been told by the district commissioner, with very attractive places. You may wish to visit during your free time, especially on weekends. Serengeti, Ngorongoro, Mount Kilimanjaro are just a few miles away from here. Thank you and have a good day. It was a pleasure to be your director of ceremony this morning. You have been such a fantastic audience. Thank you very much. Okay, lunch is served and you'll be ushered to the lunch area by some of our